Hey, in this video, you're going to learn why your sales conversations feel so awkward at times and, more importantly, how to fix them quickly. My name's Justin James. Over the last decade, I've taken what I used to do in psychiatric nursing and brought it right here into sales, which has allowed me to generate over 22 million in deals. My clients have generated over 200 million using the principles that I teach inside of my invisible sales method. And in this video, I want to teach you one of the most powerful unconscious things that you might be doing right now, which is sabotaging your sales. Now, look, if you are a sales professional, if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, anyone who's involved in selling products or services, then you're going to want to pay attention to this one. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you jump on a sales call or you go into a sales meeting and something feels off and it feels a little bit awkward? And that's usually because either you're nervous or something like that, or something the prospect is doing is triggering you. Now, let me give you an example. Maybe right now you've been in situations before where you've spoken to someone who's a little bit intimidating. You know, that person who's quite forward, that person that's like, you know, they're above you. They've got this superiority complex. You know, they've got like a superior mindset. They think they know better. It's almost like they want to control the situation. Ever been in a situation like that? Now, here's what happens to 99% of salespeople out there. They crumble in that situation. The sales conversation becomes awkward. They're on the back foot. It's almost like they're asking for permission the whole time, right? Now, here's the thing. When you behave like that, you've already lost because the person doesn't respect you. People don't buy from people they don't respect. When was the last time you bought from someone you didn't respect? Think about it. When was the last time you bought from someone that you didn't actually have any respect for? You wouldn't do that. So my guess is, if you wouldn't do it, do you actually think your prospect's going to do it? No. So why does this even happen? Why do you let it happen? And what can you do to prevent yourself from having awkward conversations again? Well, it's very, very simple. This is something that I teach my students, and I drill down on it so much because I want them to get it right. This is what I call the pre-sale. It's all in the beginning. 80% of the selling is done before you even open your freaking mouth. And one of the major things you need to do, believe it or not, is work on your bloody self. Work on yourself. So many of us are actually not good with ourselves, our own self-worth. So when we go into sales conversations, the minute we meet someone who's intimidating, the minute we meet someone who throws us off, or presents a question that makes us feel that we're on the back foot or we don't know what we're talking about, our low self-worth kicks in and we absolutely crumble and lose the freaking sale. So look, I'm not asking you to go out there and be cocky. I'm not asking you to go out there and be arrogant. I'm asking you to do some work on yourself. And if you're struggling right now and you want a quick fix on how you can go into your next sales conversation 110% confident, 110% bulletproof, and no person is going to knock you down or make you feel bad again, then stick around. I'll give you a technique in a minute. But first of all, you've got to really lean back and ask yourself, what is it about me that's making me feel like this? Now, truth of the matter is, for many of us, there isn't any real logic behind why we don't feel as comfortable or as superior as we should do in a sales situation. But let me break down some reasons why people feel like that. Maybe they go into these situations because there's something about their past that is still creeping up. Maybe you were intimidated before by other people and therefore this person's triggering you right now. Maybe you grew up hearing stuff like you're not good enough and now that's coming out right now. Maybe you've been in previous experiences where you've been shut down before, and when you meet someone who's got a bigger energy than you, it makes you shut down. Maybe there's some unconscious things going on, which if I'm very honest, and I do help my students with this, because long term, you need to get rid of that crap. If you are in business, if you are in sales, you need to get rid of that crap because it's going to come up at some point, some form. I promise you, it will come up when you least expect it. I promise you, and it will ruin the sale, okay? Now, long term, you need to deal with that, and on this video, I can't help you with that. If you come and work with me, I can help you with that. But right now, if you want a quick win, here's how you go into the next sales conversation without feeling awkward, without feeling funny, without bumbling, being absolutely certain in yourself and being absolutely sure that you can nail it. Doesn't matter what comes your way, you'll be absolutely fine. Here's what you can do. Next time you go into a sales conversation or you go into a sales meeting, I want you, before you start that meeting, before you even open your mouth, before you even see the prospect, here's what I want you to do. I want you to access a state of certainty. Okay, what do I mean by that? Well, I want you to ask yourself, how certain am I that I can solve this person's problem? How certain am I that I've done it for other people? How certain am I that I can get this person results? And how certain am I that our company and our product is the right fit? And you keep on drumming this into your head. How certain am I? How certain am I? How certain am I? Watch your energy shift. Watch what happens to your energy. Watch what happens to your confidence. Because the thing is this. I meet so many people who tell you to be more confident. If you want to be in sales, you've got to be more confident. What absolute tosh. Now, they're right, but hear me out. You can't learn confidence. People say to you, you should learn to be more confident. Confidence is not a skill. It's an emotional state. How do you learn a state? It's a bit like a kid. Does anyone teach a little kid to be sad? Like, does anyone give them a lesson on how to be sad? No, they automatically know how to be sad when they don't get their way, which basically means there's a trigger which triggers their sadness. That's the same as you and confidence. You need to find a trigger that triggers your confidence because you don't learn confidence, you access it. Does this make sense? You access confidence. And the way you access confidence is by accessing a state of certainty. Because when you're certain, your confidence goes up. It's a bit like when you're having an argument with someone and you know you are right. What happens to your confidence? When you know you're right, you're certain, what happens to your confidence? It goes up. So what does that mean? Certainty breeds confidence. Think about it. So the next time you go into any sales conversation, even if you haven't worked on your inner work, you don't have time for that because you need to make the sale, I get it. Please do take some time out to work on those gremlins because they will come out at some point. But if you don't have time for it, you want to make more bank tomorrow, go and do what I've just said to you. The next call you jump on, access a state of certainty. Build yourself up. Watch your vibration. Watch how much more you speak with certainty, how you vibrate on a different frequency. Even if the person's being cocky or pushing back or whatever, you'll be so certain that you might even tell them, hey, listen, if you sound like you don't believe me, you sound like I'm trying to rip you off, with all due respect, whenever I've spoken to prospects like this that are feeling this way, I usually just end the call because I know it's just not going to go any better. So, Mr. or Mrs. Prospect, are you willing to drop the guard a little bit so I can help you? Or are you going to keep pushing me back? Because if you are, there's no point in us carrying this conversation. That will make the prospect do one of two things. They'll either slam the phone down and get lost, or they'll actually shut up, listen to you, drop their guard, and allow you to do your job as a professional. Make sense? All of this happens, my friends, when you start being good with yourself. But if you want a quick hack on that, remember, certainty breeds confidence. That's how you stop sabotaging your sales. That's how those awkward conversations can be turned around. And that is how, my friends, you will start making more deals after more deals just by implementing this simple shift in your states. And look, if that's what I did for you on this free video, what would happen if we actually started working together? Well, look, this is a YouTube video. I would love you to work with me. I'd love you to invest with me. However, I want to give you some more free stuff. Somewhere around this video, there'll either be a link or you can comment the word sales down below. Comment the word sales down below. I will send you some free training that will allow you to really experience the power of my invisible sales method. It will help you make even more money. Once you've done that, there might even be a little invitation for you to carry on working with me. And if you do, I would highly recommend you grab it with both hands because nobody in the world is teaching you what I teach inside of my invisible sales method. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you comment sales down below if you want some more help. Leave me a comment, leave me a review, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will see you on the next video.